Hey everyone, welcome to a slightly different video. Today we are reviewing all the games, the story-based games that I played in 2025 and doing a tier list of what was the best games, what are the worst games, what games should you buy, what games you should not buy at all. There was only one of those, but we'll get to that. I'm filming this actually a couple of weeks after, because this is after Christmas, but I filmed this before Christmas. And I have even played some games since then. Most of the games on this list are story-based games. I did remove things like Rivals and some Alien games, which were like multiplayer. So these are mostly for people who are after mostly indie games that are story-focused. And yeah, like short play time. But let's get into it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in 2026. All of what these? No, we're going to go through them. We're going to go through them, and I'm going to put them into categories. You'll notice there, you've got the, like, from good to bad, and then down the bottom, we've got trash, do not buy. I know one of them that's going in there. We played quite a few games this year. Now I've got into a nice flow of YouTube. That sort of happened, I think, about mid-2025. I want to do more next year. So next year, although I'm running out of like top tier games, so it's going to be interesting. This year's was great for just indie gaming in general. And I think next year is going to be even better because I think the industry is pivoting to indie gaming. But yeah. And like I say, not every game is on here. I haven't put things like Rivals, which I played a lot of this year. Digimon is on there because it is a story game, which I completed or at least played. I haven't really put multiplayer games that much on this list, I don't think. It's mostly just story-based things. So let's go through them. You guys get your minds out of the gutter. We can't. That's where we live. Right. Where do we start? Let's start trying to do it in some sort of chronological order. Order 13. So Order 13 is brilliant. Do you know they've changed their cover? It used to be the cat, and they changed it to just a hand. I think they did it because it misleads the game, thinking that it's going to be like a cutesy cat game. It's like, no, this is a horror game. It's just there is a cat in there. And you think, oh, is the cat... Is there a reason for the cat? There is no reason for the cat. This game was on... I'm going to put it in my awesome category. It was a fun, short little horror game. It was one of them like simulator games where you work at basically a sorting center for Amazon, but in hell. And... I don't know, it was fun. I wish there was like DLC or an extension or a spin-off or a sequel or something. Really good game. Do you remember that game? You know what that game is? Remember the sorting center? And it had a little barcode scanner, and the cat was sitting on the counter, and he'd have to scan items, and then you have to go find it in the warehouse, and the warehouse was full of monsters. So then you'd have to get this while you're trying to avoid monsters. And then it just got more difficult because you had to get like the warehouse got bigger because it opened up more parts. And then when you packed it, you had to make sure it was a certain type or things like that, different boxes and things. It was good. It's those simulator games. I'm surprised there isn't more simulator games on my list because they've sort of blown up recently. It's one where you're alone in the warehouse. That's right. It said biblical. Biblical? You should say a biblically accurate... I mean, I don't know if it is. I mean, they should have advertised it as that. They were just like, it's a sorting center, but it's Amazon at the end of the day. Except these days, they're all robots. So yeah, that's that one. Let's move on to... Let's try and do this in chronological order. Yeah, let's start with Complex. So we played a lot of FMV games this year. I'm going to put it in the good category. It was good. The story was quite fun. Like with any of those sort of games, you can't really skew the story that much, which is a shame. because you make all these different choices, but you pretty much get the same result, which is understandable. But it's nice. It's nice to think you have some level of control. But yeah, the acting was good. The cinematography was good. And like, I like those games. They're fun, short little story games. Along with that, same company, the most recent one, Dead Reset, that is going in my... Oh, I want to put it in S tier, but I don't think it's... No, this is good, actually. I can compare it to Order 8, which one is more fun. I think they're quite on level, actually. Yeah, Dead Reset was awesome, but I think it's because of the subject matter is what I like. It's that sort of like campy 80s horror. The sort of like, you know, practical effects, gore. It was just fun because the story was stupid and they knew what they were doing. So like, even though the production levels were good and the acting was good, like, because the effects are all hokey and what in it, but the monster and stuff was so cliche, it was funny. I liked that game. I feel that it's a better title. This is not clear enough. Which one? Which one? What, Order 13? Anyway, moving on. Should we do all of our FMV games? So let's do Late Shift next, which I think is the same company. This one is... I'm going to put it in the meh category. It's not bad, right? It's not bad at all. And I would say, even in the meh, I'd say it's top of that. Because it was good. Like, the production was good. The acting was good. It's just... I think it was one of the earlier games. I think the subject matter is just a bit dry as a gaming thing. Especially because you don't have much control over where the story goes. Because it's not like a gangster type thing. And it's... I don't know. Like, having a crazy... blob monsters or virus, which is what the complex is about, like, they're much more interesting ideas than just, oh yeah, mafia, go here, shoot someone. Like, I don't care about your characters. So yeah, high meh category for that. Let's see, what are we doing next? Shall we get some shit ones out the way? Oh no, actually, Haste was probably the first on this list. That's what I should have got to first. Haste is S tier for me. I know you guys didn't see much of it because a lot of my playthrough of it was offline. Haste is just cool. Yeah. So Haste is what Sonic as a game should be. Like, they figured out how to go incredibly fast and still have it feel like the player is in control. You know how like Sonic just goes super fast and you're just sort of on a rail or you're in a box and you're just sort of going forward? This game, you go as fast, but it makes you dive and swoop and do effects and jump and da-da-da. You remember that one? Yeah, so the basic gist of this game is that you run fast, and the way you go faster is you jump in the air and then you sort of land just on a cliff edge. If you land here, you're going to stop. You have to land just over the horizon and then you zoom down and then you go over the bump and you fly through the air and you do the same thing and you just sort of do that motion. And that's it. That's the basic gameplay. But then there's like boss fights and then there's like collectibles and it's technically a roguelike because there's random power-ups and then there's like power-ups over time. And it's a really difficult game. Like, it's a challenge, but it's so much fun to actually just play the motion. You kind of just like, it's those games where you get a nice game loop. You know, it's the game loop where if it's fun, it doesn't matter if you die a lot. That's the perfect thing for a roguelike. And yeah, I know there's updates to it. I know there's bits I haven't seen anymore because they've changed it. And they've got DLCs and things. And I do want to download it again. It's just one of those games that sort of never ends. So if I download it, I'll just be playing it forever. But it's fun. I think if you can get it on sale, absolutely play that game. I would say but pay full price, but it will only last you like maybe a week or two at most, unless you really get into it. Dispatch is S tier, obviously. Is it? Well, you have to wait and see, won't you? Holy fucking shit. What? I'm watching the Steam sale right now. Have you found some £5 games you can afford? I know that's your budget. Right, next on the list. Let's do Artful Escape. Artful Escape is top of my awesome list. What? Why? Why? Detroit Become Human is $4. Slay the Spire is $3. Jenna, have you played either of those games? If you like your story games, I would highly recommend Detroit. I have already played it, unfortunately. So, because Dispatch, don't argue. Well, we'll get to it, won't we? Yeah, Artful Escape. Artful Escape is one of them games that I did not expect to like as much as I did. But it also had this thing where the reason it's not in S category is that it was such a good game, but I just feel like its story didn't hit. You know, it's like, I get it as an artist myself, but not a music artist. I get what it was going for, but I just didn't feel it. Like, especially the conclusion of the story. I feel like it just sort of went somewhere and it ended. And I feel like it needed a little bit extra. But then when I looked into the backstory of how the game got made, it pretty much is just one person who is a graphic designer who has a very like indie vibe to himself, and obviously a music creator, and he put everything into that game. So that is basically a child of passion from a designer, and you can totally feel that when you know the backstory and you play the game. You can totally see the connection. One designer, 500 coffees. I mean, obviously he had a team, but it was the story and the design and the direction is all that one guy. And it's basically his love child, basically. But yeah, if you're after a story-based game with awesome visuals and a really nice, heartfelt story that isn't going to make you cry, it didn't quite go that far, but it's a nice story. It makes you remember we were like playing the guitar, sliding around those like planets and things. It was like, fuck yeah! Right? It has some really good vibes in that game, so would recommend. Very good. That was cool, yeah. Right, come on in, let's do it. Where is it? Dispatch, even though it was more recent, we are going to put Dispatch I'm going to put it... No, I am going to put it at the bottom of the S tier. I am, Spirit. I am. The only things that I think sullied it for me, that game, is... like, again, with the whole, like, choose your own story, it would be nice to have much more sway on the story. I know there is multiple endings, and I know, you know, there's apparently even one scene which is so rare that no one has found it yet. The developers have actually stated there is a scene that no one's found. It's just that the way you get to it is so convoluted and so unlikely that no one's found it, which I find very interesting. But just from the production value, the way that, the voice acting, the dialogue itself, so good. S tier for just the dialogue. It's just, for me, I feel like, how do I describe this? It was really good as a game, as a story and stuff. The story didn't hit me. I think it might be too fast-paced, if that makes sense. Like something like The Walking Dead, as a Telltale series, they give things a lot of time. They let you sit on ideas, and the cast is a much smaller thing. Even though I would say it's better than that game. I still think the story beats were not perfect in it because it didn't hit me. It just felt like I was watching a cartoon for like, yeah, like, oh, explosions and fun and silly jokes. It's like, yeah, but where's like the meaning, the heart of this, other than, oh, I've got a girlfriend. You know, I felt like it was just missing something, which is a shame because I think it should win things like Game of the Year and stuff. But then again, I haven't played Expedition 33, so I can't compare. You see your point. You understand, yeah? There was no homosexual route. We can't have everything, can we? I also agree with the argument that it's something doesn't feel like a game. I mean, gameplay loop. I mean, even in the cutscenes at the beginning of the game, you can choose not to have quick time events. So there's obviously a correct video path, and then there's like video path, and then if you fuck up, but it connects back to it. You know, there's obviously a route that you could go down where you get all like the bad situation, but it would still end up in the same route. So then what's the point? You know? Because when I was actually playing it, I was like, no, I want to watch the action. It's the only problem with like having action scenes. You want to watch it. But I kind of like the fact that they gave you the option. So yeah, can't knock it. We got all these nice games. Should we get onto a shit one? Nightmares Free. Little Nightmares Free. Okay. It's going in the bad category, everyone, which is unfortunate because Little Nightmares 1 and 2 would be S-tier games. They are brilliant at what they do. Little Nightmares 3 is not that game. It's a different team. The story is not told the same way. It's almost like if you threw the game at AI and said, make me a game like it, and they could just completely miss the point of the game. There's no mystery. Everything is laid out for you. And the reason I feel this way is because when me and Isolation played this on stream, we were just going through the motions and it was only fun because he was there. And then because I was playing on his version, when I tried to replay it off stream, it started me from the first level. So I had to play it again and I got bored during the first level to the point where it's like, I can't be bothered. That's not Little Nightmares. I have played Little Nightmares 1 and 2 and the DLC multiple times and in VR. Yes. I did try that. It didn't really work, but the other games just get this, like, it's the feeling of the world where it's like the world is trying to get you constantly. And it's not because it hates you. It's just because the world is unfeeling and uncaring and things living it and everything you do is trying to kill you, right? Little Nightmares 3 is just like, oh, there's a monster. It's not about the world and there's no mystery. It's all explained. It's like, oh yeah, this was the circus performer and he was bad and he didn't like kids and da-da-da. And it's just, because you're playing with another person as well, you miss the isolation factor. Isolation played with me. But I mean, like, when you're on your own, yeah, that's going to be scarier than if you're with co-op person, which is why I feel worried about this Fears to Fathom Season 2, because that's a co-op game, and I don't know if I like the idea. Now I've seen more of it, it looks kind of cool because you're in a car together. I don't know, it might be better than I'm thinking, but I'm worried about that. So anyway, and then on top of that, I got the Switch version, which was riddled with bugs, like game-breaking bugs. So if you get the Switch version would be trash, do not buy, but the other versions apparently are fine. But no, right? It's a really bad version of that game, so that's where that fits. Next, let's talk about one of the best games of the year. Look outside. Look outside. Are you tickling my foot? Sorry. All those whiskers touching my foot. Look outside. So far is my game of the year. There might be others. We have to wait and see. Sorry, bud. Yeah, look outside. Indie horror game. I'm amazed at the level of atmosphere and dread and horror that game makes. Hey, Zan.
Come back, you fat-bearded bitch!
Okay, Spirit. The only Little Nightmares that I didn't even finish the video or lore video. Maybe I'm being too mean. I agree with you on the argument. It doesn't feel like a game. Like I mean, it's a gameplay loop. It's fun. Felt like a lot of cutscenes. If you're talking about Little Nightmares 3, the problem with that is I wouldn't call them cutscenes. It's just that the gameplay loop is the gameplay loop. It's boring. Like the worst part about Little Nightmares 1 and 2 is the way the controls are very glitchy being a platformer. Like you're always just missing a ledge, or the grab function doesn't work when you need it, or you try and slide and it does a crouch instead. Like those little buggy things that happens all the time. And Little Nightmares 3 is nothing but that. Like there's nothing else in it. You remember like Little Nightmares 2, I think it is, with the teacher lady whose neck would go through the vent and stuff? That shit was just creepy, out of place. You didn't expect it. It was exciting. The creepiest thing in that game is the spider lady, but it doesn't make any sense. If you look at the actual character models, like they've always been humans. They may have had like melty face, stretchy neck, you know, giant limbs and things, but they've always been humanoid. And then suddenly there's a spider thing and there's like a giant baby woman. Like there's no logic to it. Like, so world building wise, it just doesn't make sense. But anyway, we talked about Little Nightmares 3. You may have to look up what you've got. Counting Fist of Hammer as one whole game. We'll get to that. Yes, we are counting it as one whole game. But we'll get to that, Zan. Give us time. So, yeah, look outside. So, reminder, basic gist is it's a survival horror game where if you look outside your apartment, you become a blob monster. It's very like The Thing in the character design and things, the things you meet. Mostly, pretty much like pixel art. Not really, but sort of. That's sort of like 2D, very low fidelity type thing. But the story beats in it were like, again, whimsical. They were like, even though they were monsters, you realize that people are just people, even if they are monsters. And sometimes, like humans, some humans are dickheads. And it's kind of like the mutations just amplified whatever someone was obsessed with. And if someone was a bad person, they become a really bad person. And some people just, and kids, like, the thing was grotesque, it was funny, it was scary, it wasn't too long either. And because it had multiple endings, which I've seen, there is no way to complete that game in a positive light. I'm going to tell you that right now. Technically spoiler, but it's like, there are multiple endings and you can get better endings. Right? But it is an end of the world scenario, so we'll see. But yeah, I want to see more from that company because yeah, masterclass game. So yeah, that's why it's up there. Wonder where Digimon shall be. Well, that's the thing. It's grim and dark. It is. Right, so it was fairly early in the year, so let's do Fist of Heaven. Yes, it is like 5 different games, but I think you should count it as a series, not just one game, because every single game has the same sort of feel. Some games are better than others, but as a whole, I think the entire franchise was really good. I'm going to put it there. It's another S tier one. Must play. We just saw Charlie play 2 episodes today. It has an atmosphere to it, which you wouldn't have seen it because I don't bring it to stream very often. But I've been keeping my eye out for other indie games, and there are so many that base their design or their like gameplay loops and stuff on Fears to Fathom. Some even do the graphic design, which I think is bad. Like some people literally rip off what it looks like too. And they just don't hit the mark, which is funny because it's not a super high fidelity game. It's not like it's a giant company with loads of assets. It's a very small team. And I think the earlier games were just one person. So I think it helps that the stories that they tell, these horror games, are like based on real stories. I don't know how true that is, but yeah, just those games tell a story from a point of view of a scenario or an atmosphere, and they get it right every time. I think they're quite relatable as well, because like say the first game is like being in a house on your own, which I am right now. Like it's very relatable of like, oh, some stranger knocks on your door late at night or is peering through the window. Yeah, that would scare anyone. And it's relatable. And I think that's important to note with some of these games, is that how relatable is the story. You can have really crazy space stories, but at the end of the day, it's like relatable if it's a horror, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about High on Life. Let's get silly for a sec. High on Life is a... Where am I going to put it? I'm going to put it in the top of the good category. It's good. It's good. I don't think it's a great game. I think the jokes and stuff, if you've not seen it by now, I think it's worth playing. If it's your humor. Like if you like Rick and Morty, and if you like South Park, if you like your vulgar humor, you're going to love that game. It's not for everyone. And late game is not for stream. I didn't actually bring that part onto stream. I didn't know, but when I saw it, there are some character designs later which are fully just boobs and penises with eyes, and they're everywhere, and it really does feel like they're just doing it for shock value. I don't know. It's a brilliant game if you've not seen it, but I feel like I've been quite spoiled on it over the years because I've been playing it quite late because of the controversy around Justin Roiland. But turns out no one really cares, so that's why I played it in the end. God, I got it on cheap. But yeah, it's a good game. It is a good game. It's a good adventure game. It's a good story game. It's got a nice beginning, middle, and end, and a lot of jokes in it. It's a funny game. It's funny and gross. So if you like that sort of humor, then yeah, it's worth playing. Let's do... Oh, interesting. Let's do Consume Me. Consume Me is a good game. Like, you play it for 5 minutes, it should be in the S tier, right? It is a brilliant game, brilliant indie game. What should be a story around like body image and told in a really quirky, cutesy way, right? I know what I like. I watch. I go play Fears to Fathom, the second one and the last one, and she really added another layer, like creepy, of the commentation. What do you mean? You know, in what way? What extra thing does it add? Yeah, Consume Me. So Consume Me, I expected it to be a story about like, oh, young girl, she's a teenager, she wants to fit in, so she's constantly worried about her body image and the way she looks, and then she gets a boyfriend, and then she's worried about what he thinks, and then of course she's still trying to keep up her studies, and she's like, you know, got rivals as her like best friend is also like succeeding at things, and she's trying to do everything and please her mum, who is nothing but horrible to her. And the whole time it comes down to like visual body image most of the time, and smarts for some of it. And I thought the game was going to, you know, explain a very clear message of it's not always about your body image, or don't take it too seriously or something. And it might do that, I never completed it because even though it was such a whimsical and fun game, the way that they did all the animations and the way that you do all the mini games, it was so much fun for the first 2 hours. But I have played that game a good 10 hours now, and it just keeps going. It never ends. So, and at the end it gets so difficult to complete the day because they put so many limitations on you of like, you have to keep it under this amount of time, you've got to eat this amount of things, you've also got to make sure you talk to all these people, you've got to do all these tasks, and if you miss any of these main tasks, you've got to redo the entire week. And it got to the point where I was doing the same week twice and I just couldn't do it. And in the end, I was just like, I can't be bothered. And I feel like, yeah, if that's the message of the game, then just let people fuck up and progress further. And then you'll turn to a fat girl, and then it can be like, oh, I'm still succeeding even though I'm fat. And then you'll have a message for your game. But I don't know if it says that. I don't think it does. The game kind of suggests that you need to be perfect at all times. And I don't know what the message is of the game. I think the game is trying to say, this is a real world story. This is my childhood. It's like, yeah, that's great. That's not a game. So I don't know. It just feels like a lot of mini mobile games, which were fun and animated well, but it really falters when you play it long enough. But anyway, which is a real shame because I really think Consumi should be higher on the list, but there it is. Killer Frequency. We're putting this at me personally, I'm putting it there. I enjoyed this more than Dispatch. And I wish there was more to it. I wish they did like DLCs, because it really feels like it's just the template for doing DLCs. You work at a radio station solving people's problems. Like, there's a main story, but why can't there be other days? Why can't we do DLC? I've looked into it, there isn't any coming, that's it. Which is a shame, because I want more. I want a Killer Frequency 2. It was such a... It was a story game where you've actually got gaming elements in it. Like, they do make you try. There are so many different outcomes and routes you can go down, and the voice acting is so much fun in it. Yeah, that's all I can say about the game. It's like, if you've not played it, it's a lot of fun. It's good for stream, it's good for offline, just, yeah, it's a fun game. The only thing that annoyed me was that newspaper clipping puzzle halfway through. Everyone I've seen who's played it, including myself, just is like, wow, you've gone from like fun, simple little tasks, and then it's like, right, time for an essay. And it's just like, whoa, okay, my brain wasn't ready for this. But anyway, moving on. Oh, we've missed one of our FMV games. Contradiction. I'm going to put this here. Yeah, it's an awesome game. It is the game that predates At Dead of Night. But it's the same company that made that, and you can tell that there's bits in this game which were brought over to At Dead of Night. And I think they built this game and it was cool, but then they were like, let's make a game which is more active. It's not just an interactive movie. Let's actually have the player have more of an actual agency to do something, as well as story beats. But it was really good as a detective story, which is not a game I would usually play. It's kind of like a point and click detective story with actual actors. And the story is good. Like, I did not see the result coming. Like the killer, if you like. I did not see it coming. And it makes total sense playing that game. I want more. They were hinting that there was going to be a Contradiction 2, but I think that's what At Dead of Night is. But there we go. And we are getting At Dead of Night 2. soon. That is happening. So that'll be good. And the killings happened on my birthday. No! Let's talk about Silent Hill F. Most of these games are indie games. In fact, I'd say apart from Dispatch, they all are indie games. I guess High on Life isn't an indie game, whatever. Silent Hill. Meh. That's going to piss people off, but Silent Hill F is in the meh category. For £60, I was expecting more. So Dave, yes. Like, it has a story. I'm not going to spoil it, but it has a story which, you know, is an interesting story. It's just not told in your first playthrough. You hate feminism. It's got nothing to do with that. And I don't. But it's just like... It's... The battle mechanics were frustrating, especially when you're in a small corridor. You've got a giant weapon that you're supposed to swing around because you're a little girl, and then they put you in a tiny corridor and you physically keep getting stuck on things. And then the enemies have... You know, they teach you the way to hit enemies is use the parry system. So you wait for the parry system, and sometimes the enemy just doesn't do it and does a sneak attack, or if they do a grab, it's an almost instant kill. And there's no signposting. So when I watched Isolation play it, Isolation's way of fighting was to ignore all that and just run in and just hit things as hard and fast as possible. And that seemed to work. And it's like, but the game tells you to parry. They say this is the way to successfully fight. And sure, he got hit a lot more and he was playing it on an easier mode, but I don't know. The battle mechanics were frustrating. The story was not signposted. I played the entire game, read everything, and at the end they were like, and this is the ending. Really? I did not get any of that during my playthrough. And then I was still like, I'm still confused on what the story is. I looked it up on YouTube and they're like, yeah, you need to play it 2 more times in a certain way to get the full picture. It's like, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. It's a long game as it is and I wasn't enjoying it. So I'm not playing it 2 more times. So, yeah, it was pretty. I liked, and the other thing is the cultural issues. Like, there's a lot of cultural things that they assume that you know in the Western world, which we don't. So they show you items or they do certain things and they talk about certain things and you're just supposed to know. And it's like, yeah, but we don't know that. So it's a bit, you know, I didn't like it. Story good, weirdly long. I don't know many people who replayed it. Yeah, because I saw Timmy play it, and Timmy, you know, he told Timmy that he has to play it again to get the full story. He's like, hell no. And Timmy said the same thing. He found the fighting frustrating. So I'm not alone. So anyway, that's that. Somebody's at the door. Who's at the door? Who's at the door was a good little anomaly game. I'm gonna put it here. It was yeah, it was fun. So, you know, your observation shooty games, it's a bit like that, but it's got some story and horror elements attached to it. Pretty sure it's a Japanese game. It feels very Japanese. Yeah, it's a fun little game. Don't expect much from it, but it was a fun little romp, and it's really like quirky. Like, the monsters are not typical monsters. They're silly. They're spooky and creepy, but they're just silly, you know? But I like it that they are willing to go to other cultures. Yes. And you know, Jenna, that's another good point with Silent Hill F, which is, yeah, female protagonist, and other cultures in mind, not just Western cultures. That is breath of fresh air. However, I did say to Sparky the other day, and the moment I said it, I then saw 2 other people say the exact same thing, which is, I'm getting sick and tired of games coming out that look ultra realistic and are a samurai hack and slash. How many games have to be Unreal Engine samurai hack and slash? I'm getting sick of it. Right? Every fucking game is that now. It's just like, oh, for God's sake, not another one. I think it's Korean, Dave. It's not even said in the game. That's what I mean. It's not overly said, but it's not Western. Hey, Frost Flash, you didn't like Silent Hill F? Frost, I've just said it's. I found there's multiple reasons I didn't like it. The battle mechanics I found frustrating, especially when you're in a small room and you've got a giant weapon that keeps getting stuck on every wall, and then the enemies are meant to parry, but then they don't do their parry animation. Instead, just grab you and kill you instantly. I played it on normal mode, or not the story mode, on my first playthrough, which means I just had a harder time with it. And then when you find out that the story itself, like you play the entire game, and the story it tells you was not clearly signposted. So by the end, it's like, really? And then when I looked up on YouTube, it's like, you've got to play it 2 more times to get the full picture. I'm like, fuck that. I hated the storytelling. Thank you. See? That was my major issue, yeah. So I just found it frustrating and unsatisfying. So yeah, there it is. What did we just put down? Oh yeah, who's at the door? Yeah, good game. Let's do Dolmare. Let's get Dolmare in here. Dolmare, I'm gonna put Dolmare here. I think I liked it more than Order 13. It's very similar to Order 13. Dolmare is just a silly, but again, it was a humorous horror game about living dolls in a factory that you've got to put together and look for anomalies, basically. But then the dolls come alive, or there's like this story about the factory, and it was just fun. A fun little game, fun little horror indie game. Very much approve. Yeah, it takes 3 playthroughs to get the full story, and I'm like, no, yeah, because I think Timmy put it best. You don't go and watch a film, right? And then they go like, to see the full story, you have to watch the same story, slightly different, in the cinema next door. And then the one after that. Like, that's not how you tell a story. You have a beginning, middle, and end. Not beginning, middle, and a bit of the end. You have to watch it again, and you might notice some of them. To be fair, when I saw the 1 red pill and the bandage in the meter, I knew my brain is like, Silent Hill, there is something about that. I didn't. I just saw it as, oh, that's healing. Not taking red pills at all. Your first playthrough doesn't change anything. Don't replay the games, really. Just majority of the story. See, the red pill thing, that is a cultural thing again. And my point was, this isn't a spoiler because it happens literally in the first cutscene, is that when she sits down with Shu and he gives her the box of pills, because he's the drug dealer, basically. He's giving her drugs, which is bad, right? And you find out what the drugs do later on. The box is like a traditional, I guess, Japanese, or if you say it's North Korean, it's like a traditional medicine box. Again, cultural. So, me personally, when I saw that, being high school kids, oh, you're handing her cigarettes. Like, all it would take is her to have a camera angle of looking at the box, open, and seeing red pills. That's all it needed to just highlight he's giving you these drugs. That's all it needed, that one shot, and that would have just made it so much clearer. But they never point it out for the entire game until the very end. And it's like, oh, okay. And then you're like, oh, you're just supposed to play it not by using it. Okay, whatever. Wish I knew that at the start. So that's what I mean by like cultural. There's things like that in the game. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you. Right. Where did we get to? Yeah, we did Dolmer and we're caught up. Okay. Right. Next game. Let's do it because I watched it yesterday. Charlie played it yesterday and it was so good seeing it for a second time. Before Your Eyes, that's going on S tier. Yeah, that's going there. It's not a new game or anything. And the whole blinking mechanic of using your web camera, very cool for a game. So straight away, it's just trying something different, which we love. Love that. Crazy music. Do we need to be on... We are on random. Okay, whatever. Yeah, it's just... That game I find quite like therapeutic just to... It's basically an interactive movie. And I wouldn't even know how interactive it is because you can skew the story here and there to have slightly different beats. But by the end, it's all the same. And it's just the crying game. It's a game that makes you cry. If you feel like you want to have a good lethargic cry, go watch my YouTube video of Before Your Eyes. It's a nice story and it's told in a way, and the music and everything, it's told in a way that is just meant to pull your heartstrings. Yeah, that's all I can say about it. It's just a nice game. But it's had such an effect on me this year, learning about that game. Yeah, I want more games like that. Because it's always nice to have a bit of a cry. And then the game that comes after it, Goodnight Universe, same developer. This goes in the... It goes about there. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong, it's a good game. It uses the same mechanic of the blinking plus other controls. But especially after seeing it yesterday again, it loses the heartfelt nature and family of the story. They gained like better graphics, I would say probably even better voice acting, and they've introduced actual game mechanics into it, not just blinking and just sitting for the story. But you've lost what made Before Your Eyes so good, which was the fact it was all about family. It's a relatable story and it really tugs at your heartstrings. This one kind of does it, but nowhere near. So, which is real unfortunate because I was so hyped to play it. You said it yesterday, but I still think the lovely sadistic game. Sadistic? You think it's sadistic? I know it's sad. I know Before Your Eyes is sad, but it's kind of like a beautiful sadness because it's again, I think it's relatable. It's something that we all go through, which is about how you deal with loss, how you deal with family, especially when things don't go your way, and also what you do with death and what your life is about. It tackles a lot of philosophical things about what is it to be human? You know, what is it that makes you who you are? You know, when you're met with your maker, what will you say to them? He's like, what did you do with your life? And sometimes just being you is enough. That's what the basic gist of the game is. Just being you, you know, your authentic you is enough for the world. And it may affect the world in ways you're not seeing. That's kind of what its story beats are. But anyway. Right, sadistic nature of keeping your eyes. Yeah, but I would say that's more sociopathic. That's what that is. Making me try life moment, savoring life. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think they used the whole blinking mechanic, and I mean, as a game development point of view, I think this makes sense, which is they use the whole blinking mechanics to make you blink, and therefore If you're wanting to cry, it's going to be very difficult to keep your eyes open because you want to blink. But you don't want to blink, which means you'll cry more. You see? That's why it is the crying game. So I think that's sociopathic the way it's making you do it. But like you said, at the same time, if you play it that way with the actual camera, those scenes where it's like you want to keep your eyes open and really see the story, but the moments are fleeting, and the moment you blink, it's gone. And that is life. It ties into the gameplay. I think it's great. It's so clever. Yeah. So far, so good. What you mean my list? You like it? Right, almost to the end. Let's do Out of Sight. Out of Sight was a fun little game. It came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting much of it. It was, yeah, I would say it was good. I would put it about, would I enjoy more? Yeah, I think I'm going to put it there. Out of Sight, a game where you play as a little blind girl who's been kidnapped by two strange adults in a creepy house. And you see the world through your teddy bear's eyes, which is just strange. It's a bit like, it looks a little bit like Little Nightmares because it's got like the same sort of style of building, atmosphere and everything, but obviously it's more isometric than side on, and it's just full of puzzles, and it's mildly creepy, and there were some fun bits in it. The guy chasing you down the corridor going, "Gotta get ya!" Like that was fun. Bearded lady is back. The bearded lady is back. Come back, you fat bearded bitch. So I think Goodnight Universe. And could have had interesting story of why am I different from everybody? It'd be normal alienating them. I think Goodnight Universe, what it should have been about is what makes you human. I think that's what it should be about, because the whole thing is based around being an alien in a human. I think they should have really honed in on why is it that just being human is, and being with family and stuff is important. I don't know why they had to have the tech guy in it. It didn't need any of that. Like, yeah, that's fun and everything, but it didn't need it. I liked the bit where, at the beginning of the game, where he's using his powers to clean up the house and no one's noticing. And I like that kind of thing of like, is the place haunted? Like, I like that. That was fun. But then it went on to like, oh, it's just a tech company after you now. Like, so it's like tech company or family. It's like, come on. You've gone too big. If you just kept it in the family, it would have been interesting. But anyway. Next, Little Misfortune. That's a very old game. It is a good game. I wouldn't put it any higher than this, I don't think. I'm going to put it... I enjoyed it more than Goodnight Universe. I enjoyed it more than The Complex. Yeah, I'm going to put it there. Was that the robot one? The robot one. You're talking about Goodnight Universe? Robot? Robot one. Not sure what you mean, Spirit. Little Misfortune. Game about little girl who has misfortunes. It's on the same level as High on Life, I'd say, in its humor. It's grotesque and vulgar and stupid, and there's fart jokes and silliness there. And it's a serious story as well, but it was good. It was good. I don't know. If you haven't seen it by now, where have you been? Because it's so old. It's such like an old YouTube Let's Play game. But it's fun. It's worth a play. Yeah, can't knock it. It's good. I'm mixing up the game with with a movie in my brain. Oh, okay. I like Little Misfortune more than High on Life. That's fair. I remember you didn't see a lot of High on Life because a lot of my playthrough was offline. High on Life is just a more... I think I was more interested in playing High on Life, if I'm honest. Because I am a big Rick and Morty fan, and Solar Opposites and all that. I like their humor. I think it's funny. I feel like playing it now, it does feel a little bit dated, the humor. I feel like humor's moved on since that game as well. Limits Fortune was good, yeah. Anyway, moving on. Let's get it out the way. The suicide of Rachel Foster. Bin. Going in the fucking bin, man. You would have heard me talk about this early this week, but because we just played it. But the game's atmosphere and visual design, really good. Even the voice acting, really good. Hey, Yeti. Yeti, welcome on in. Sleeping soonish, but wanted to leave a lurk. Thank you very much, Yeti. Yeah, so especially with the name, you know, Suicide of Rachel Foster, like you expect that those elements, that theme is going to be in it. It's going to be a serious story. Just the way they handled suicide and, spoiler, pedophilia in the game is just... No. And then the option they give you at the end of the game. Like, if you're going through any of those things, do not play this game. Because the person who wrote this game, I guess, just hasn't got a clue of what the situation is when someone dies. Like, when you die, especially if it's in your immediate family, the state is going to talk to you about getting you a grief counselor. That is a thing that they do to make sure you don't do stuff from the grief, right? So straight away, it wouldn't play out like this. And then secondly, just the whole story, the way it turned out, that, oh, the dad did this. It's like, it was just dumped right at the end via amnesia, via the main character just trauma dumping down a phone. Like, that's not how a game or a narrative plays out. It's just poorly written. So, which is a shame because it had all the makings of being a really good game. It's just their theming and the way that they told the story and concluded the story was terrible. So, and it was so badly done, I absolutely cannot endorse the game for people to buy it. You know, and I don't usually do that, but it's one of those things that's like, no, I think this would have a detrimental effect on people. So, no. Sorry. And I'm not the only one who thinks that, because I've seen the reviews. It just added it for edgy purposes. Yeah, it's like saying, oh yeah, it's going to be a dark game so you can make suicide in a family. Like, yeah, you can do that. Like, that's what The Lion King is. It's like, you know, most Disney films, the parents die. And then it's how the kids survive. Like, yeah, that is a storytelling trope. But then The Lion King doesn't go, right, well, you've been through trauma, so your options at the end of the game, would you like to not kill yourself or kill yourself? If you don't kill yourself, you're going to go crazy. Like, that's not how you deal with that. And that's how you're telling people? Oh my God. The Suicide of Rachel Foster, Spirit, the last game we played this week. Poorly written, poorly paced. I had help with... And yeah, you had to help me with the game multiple times because it didn't signpost what you're supposed to do. And it was not obvious. It was not obvious. And it glitched and broke several times. And that's not even what I'm thinking about. But you're right. So for all those reasons too, it's just not a well-built game. Right. Time for bed. Time for bed. I really like this game. It was good. I didn't expect much of it. It was... I'm going to put it on the lower end of the awesome category. It was good. It was, I liked the premise of it, which is you're trying to play your Game Boy secretly in bed without your mother noticing. And so you're playing a game within a game. But then the twist is that the mum is like some creepy robot and you're not actually a mother. And it's kind of, no, you don't know why. It doesn't explain it, but I don't think it needs it. It's just creepy and quirky and I don't know. It was fun. It was silly and it was quite a challenge as well. Very creepy, quite scary, but a fun little indie game. There's a lot of fun little horror indie games because that is basically my channel. So That's what my channel is. I think I missed that one. What? The Suicide of Rachel Foster? It's literally last Sunday, Spirit. Oh yeah, that was different, but the game within the games. Yeah. So that's that. Let's do Happy Heroes Homicide 1 and 2. Happy Heroes Homicide, again, fun game. I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to say it is on the awesome category. I would say play it, especially because it's free on Steam. So it's a short, silly horror game where the roles are reversed and you are the murderer. And the murders are just gross and stupid, and it is what it is. It's B-movie silliness, and it almost feels like a Flash game because it is that old. It's like I think it came out like 2004 or something. It's really old, but whatever. It was funny. I love killing people. Yeah, it was just watching each kill was just silly. And then Happy Homicide 2, it was good, but it's like the other game, like Before Your Eyes. It lacked some of the charm. It's like the graphics got increased, the length of the game was brought out. It was more of a puzzle game, but again, they lost the campy silliness of the first game. So yeah, so that's that. There's not much else I can say about that. Last day of June. Spirit, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Dunkin' Donuts. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Spirit. Hopefully Duncan come in. I haven't seen him in a while. Right, last day of June. We played this a few weeks ago. I'm going to put this in the... Where am I going to put this? I'm caught on this one. Do I think it's good or do I think it's meh? Do I think it's meh? I'm going to put it there. It's not a bad game. It's not a bad game at all. That's why it's at the top of the meh list. It's just, I don't know. I didn't vibe with the game. It was more silly than anything else. Like, the character models didn't have eyes, which was just silly. And I was just joking through the whole thing. Like, the puzzles were fine. Like, eventually I figured them out by, like, trial and error. I see what they were going for with it, and it's nicely made game. It's just, I think it just, the elements didn't hit correctly for me, personally, which is a shame because, I don't know, visually it looked pretty, other than the faces, and the idea was pretty cool. Simple little puzzle game that tells a story, but I don't know how clear it was. Oh, and that ending. Do you remember the ending where it's like, is it going to tell us the reason why? And it showed a box, didn't it? And we're like, are we going to see what's in the box? No. And I don't know if that was because I didn't get all the achievements or something, but I was like, no, don't show me the box at the end of the game and then not open it. Like, oh, that annoyed me. Right, let's talk about Digimon. We've got 2 games left. So, Digimon, is it Digimon New World? Digimon, it is Digimon World, isn't it? Yeah. So, the fairly older game, fun little game loop. Obviously, it's not an indie game. It is just a straight up Digimon game. It was good. I'm gonna put it there. It was a good game. I didn't think much of it. If you're a Digimon fan, it was nice seeing a Digimon. It had a lot of grinding, a lot of going back to your village and then going back out and going back to the village, and then the things you worked on would die all the time, and they were just constantly pooing everywhere, and you have to want to make sure you don't get Vegemon. Remember that? Oh, like, it got frustrating towards the end, but for the short amount of time I did play it, I was enjoying it. But I think just trying to complete that game would be a bit of a slog. And of course, Digimon Time Stranger. I'm gonna put this. I'm going to put it there. I was blown away by Digimon Time Stranger. It's exactly the type of game I've wanted to play for a very long time. Not just a Digimon game, but kind of like a monster capturing game. A bit like Power World or Pokemon. Which one had the Digimon that laughed? Yeah, that was Digimon World. The one further down. Now, Digimon Time Stranger belongs in the S category. Keeping in mind that I did complete it twice. Second time in expert mode. I haven't played the DLC. I don't know if I will, because I feel like I'm done with the game now. But it just, whether you're a Digimon fan or you just want to play a fun game, it's a game for everyone, and it is built like a game should be, you know? It feels worth the price, especially if you get it on sale. I don't think you need all the extra add-ons and everything. If you just get the base game, I think you're going to have a good time. If you're a Digimon fan, you're absolutely going to love it. I just love the polish of literally every single Digimon having its own animation, its battle animation and everything, and giving you just the options. It's the quality of life stuff where you can evolve any which way you want at any point in time, as long as you've got the stats for it. You're not locked into anything, and if you want to try something out, you can try it. It just lets you be a gamer, and it's so refreshing to not have to either pay for it or, you know, have to choose a route and then that's it, or anything like that. It's like, it's just fun. Low limitations, yeah. So yeah, that is my list. So everything in the S category, if it feels like your sort of game, I would absolutely suggest buying it if you can, especially if it's on sale. Anything in the awesome category, A list, I would say is worth buying if it's on sale. If you like your story games and you like your horror games, because it, you know, depends on the theme of the game, but anything in that line there, yeah, you'll have a good time with it again. Worth getting if you can get it on sale. Anything in the good category is like, take it or leave it. You know, play it if you think it's your sort of thing, but I wouldn't pay full price for it. And anything below that, it's kind of like, I'd probably avoid. And then acquire it, and then just, you know, avoid Rachel Foster completely. Other friends did Disney movies. Oh my word. Did we argue over it? Oh, absolutely, Spirit. Absolutely. I think it goes back to what we were saying about Harry Potter, which is, it doesn't matter how much controversy can be around something. If it's part of your formative years, it's very difficult to separate, you know, author from artist, or anything in that sort of theme. So yeah, so whoever's going to watch, you know, Hercules before Lion King is going to say, no, this is better because... I mean, I've shown Hercules to people as like, this has got so many cool songs in it, and they'd never seen it before, and they're like, oh, bit of a crap film. Like, nostalgia is a thing. It warps your brain. So anyway, this is my tier list for 2025. I'm hoping next year I can play a lot more indie games, because it was only about mid through this year I started doing my whole YouTube journey of taking our playthroughs on Sunday and putting them on YouTube, and I want to continue doing that. I like the little routine we have. In fact, I have more fun on Sundays than any other stream in the week, personally, because it's just, I get something out of it, and also yeah, it does make content for me, so I just want to do more of that. The problem is finding games, because you've all heard about the AAA games that are out there that are all expensive. You don't get to hear so much about these little indie games that I find. I mean, like Time for Bed or Contradiction, like I bet you've never heard of those games outside of my stream. They're just games which I found, and they're proper gems. It's always nice to find a game that no one else has played or no one's heard of, and you really enjoying it. Things like Consume Me, like I saw most of these things I end up seeing on TikTok as clips, and I'm like, oh, that looks so cool. I might want to play this. And of course, what looks like our game of the year is Look Outside. Hell yeah. I wouldn't say it's the most flashiest game in the world. It's not the longest game in the world, but it's just a gem. It's just a gem of this year. I think everyone should play that game if they're into horror, because there are so many different endings to it, and you can go about it so many different ways. If you like your RPG horrors, not there's many of them, yeah, absolutely. Look Outside. Definitely get it. Any rebuttals? So my game of the year is Look Outside, basically. And Killer Frequency and Before Your Eyes, Digimon Time Stranger, like, no-brainers to me. Like Dispatch, Fears to Fathom, yeah, all brilliant games. And Haste, which you didn't see me play much on stream. I think I played it once. But it's a game that you can just play forever, and it's a roguelite, so yeah. No one gets to tell you which games you like and don't like. This is true. This is true. But I did want to recap this because I was thinking if I'm going to maybe make my own game, like game number 2, I kind of want to look at S tier on my list here. What is it I like about all these games? Is there anything that overlaps? What's interesting is a few of these games are very low quality. So it's not about quality. Most of these games have a very strong story, which doesn't surprise me. Let's see. So we've got 3 horrors on the list. An action game. 2 interactive story games. And 1 RPG and a roguelite. Interesting. It's not about quality, it's about it's not about quality, it's about quality. What? Wait, what? I didn't say that. It's about quality of the graphics. It's not about quality of graphics. It's about quality of the game, yeah. I mean the graphics. Yes. Alright, quality of graphics, yeah. Interesting. Because it's funny, because Haste is actually quite pretty, but it's not super intensive at the same time. It's just, and it runs on Unity as well, which I like. In fact, Fears to Fathom and Haste and Killer Frequency and Before Your Eyes all run on Unity. That's good to know. That is actually very interesting. Pretty sure Dispatch is its own thing. Look Outside is probably its own thing as well. But that is, from a game development point of view, I kind of like that fact. Because that's what I would be using. Gives me hope. Yeah, I think if I was going to make my own game, it would be like Fears to Fathom. It would be a story-based horror game. I think that's what I would try first. But I have some like fun gameplay elements. I really did like Killer Frequency. And it's... Oh, do you know what? Do you know what? Most of these games are just down to the voice acting. Like Dispatch, Before Your Eyes and Killer Frequency, they're all story-based games based on like just very good voice acting. Obviously there's other elements to it, but that's interesting. Just make a game that has nothing but your face staring at the player, all the horror anyone can ever take. Shut your whore mouth, you bitch.